What up? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent and haven't done a show since Friday. There was no basketball at all yesterday, so I didn't even bet. But I know I've won 4 of my last 5 in the W, so we'll try to keep that going here today. Veno, it's nice to have you back on the show. How's everything been for you? How you doing today?
It's been good. And like you, Skee, with no basketball because I didn't play WNBA on Sunday. And then it was none yesterday. So it's been 2 days off for me. The last time I was involved was Saturday afternoon for the Indiana-Chicago game. And it didn't go my way. Thought it would go over. Didn't go over. It was one of the worst offensive basketball games I've seen in quite a while, matter of fact. But still ahead in WNBA, 60% on the season. So looking to improve on that because we're involved here tonight, Skee, in a couple of places.
I love hearing that. So we'll talk some stuff out. Casey, she don't stall nobody out, man. But I think she's the winner here. First comment up, she says Rob in navy blue. That looks like navy blue to me. And you know they come at your neck they come at your neck in the comment section over here.
Yeah, that's not right.
Casey is the winner for the day. So it looks like lunch is on me today, Miss Casey. Just hit me up and let me know what's the best way for you to get paid. Appreciate everybody taking time to guess. You know, you mentioned something out about this color. You almost had a yellow. You're almost there, Hank. He said, it's been a long time for the yellow shirt, Rob. Come through for me.
Hank, you could blame Boofer for not having yellow today.
Yeah, Boofer, he's trying to do a little bit of baiting in the chat for that yellow. So no yellow today. Let me look at a couple more comments before we get started. Good afternoon to you as well, Ray D'Amico. He reminds everybody to hit the like button. Nathan, appreciate you. They're picking my shirt color now. I guess I wear black often. That was pretty easy, huh? I do like the color black. Some opinions here from Twisted 24/7. Appreciate you sharing that. Casey says we're here 20 minutes early. Use that time to hit the like button. Jeff, nice to have you in the chat. Says he's back from vacation, ready to take some coin. Love hearing that. Hopefully you enjoyed your vacation. A lot of comments when you show up to the show late, Rob. So that's my fault here. And we're almost through it. I just don't want to skip through them all. I know you guys took the time to share them. There she goes. She's excited. She got that winner with that navy blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Casey got the script. All right. Appreciate you, DC. And Rich Homie as well. Everybody reminding people to hit the like button definitely helps out the show. What up, Mr. Cash Show? Let's get to it, Veno. We got 3 games in the W tonight. And first up, looks like 629, 630, Mystics and Sun. Opened up Sun minus 14.5. They're about a 13-point favorite now. Totals come down about 4 points to 152.5. As far as the injury report, you have Shakira Austin going to miss tonight. That's a big miss. And Brittany Sykes still not back yet for Connecticut. Mariah Jefferson is actually out. I thought she was game time. She's actually out. I want to go to you first on this game, actually, because I feel like you pay a lot of attention to Connecticut. And I'll just say that total being steamed down is pretty interesting. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it's the only way you can play Connecticut right now, Skee. I'll just very quickly go through, again, now that I'm deep into the statistical end of the WNBA like I would be for NBA. I have these potential points numbers, and with Connecticut, I don't know how you play anything but under. Let me just say real quick that for those that watch Skee's show, and you'll be seeing us all summer going over WNBA, right now, from what I can gather, what the numbers tell me is anywhere around, say, like 340 is an average number of potential points in a WNBA game. So for Connecticut, they've been pretty low. Last 2 games, 325, The game before that, Skee, 298 points available the whole game. It's the lowest of the season. It was against Dallas. And they scored 49% of those points, which is a lot. Almost half the points got scored. It doesn't happen a lot in WNBA games. And the total still only landed 146. Game before that, the exact opposite. Against Phoenix, there were 371 points available. That's a lot, but they only scored 31.5. And the total, again, 70-47, only 117. Connecticut's just playing these low scoring games, 69-50 against Atlanta the other day. Pace is slow. I remember the very first show we did on WNBA this season, and when you were going over Connecticut, slow tempo, tough defense. It's all you need to know about this team right now. Slow tempo, great defense. Not beating teams by a ton as far as margin is concerned. They did open up that 19-point win against Atlanta the other day, but for the most part, their wins have come by less than this number. So I looked at Washington early, kind of afraid to play it because Washington just can't score. But I agree with the total move here. I think that the people who got that number probably on the right side of it because these Connecticut games, points are tough to come by.
And it makes sense, even if you just look at the numbers. I mean, on the season, they're the slowest playing team. They're the best defensive rated team. And you're looking at the Mystics, they've been the worst offense so far this season. And, just looking at the lineup, especially shorthanded, the two people today, it's not a whole lot of scoring that I see. So I agree. I could only look toward the under. Maybe you just specify and go Mystics team total under, although that's very low. But I do think this should be a lower scoring affair. So we're in agreement for this one. We just, probably don't like getting the ass end of the line. That's it. Hank likes the team total under. So does Mr. Cashout. Prolific, reminding us that it's a Commissioner's Cup game. And, those are pretty important. But, I mean, they just really got to win, right? 13-point spread. It makes it a little bit different for me as far as looking at it from that angle. But I do know they take them serious. And, it's money on the line at the end. So for now, I'll just lean with the under. Next game, we have Liberty and Skee. Opened up Liberty minus 6.5. They're now 8.5-point favorite. Total's gone up about 3.5 points from 161.5 to 165. No Sabali for the Liberty. And then Chicago, everybody's pretty much available who's been playing. It's a Liberty spot, in my opinion here, Rob. Skee beat them last time they played outright as like a 16-point underdog or a 15-point underdog, something like that. I know because we bet them on the spread, but they won that game outright. And so because of that, the revenge angle is there for the Liberty. I don't know how much I trust this team. They haven't been covering really all year. In Chicago, they match up really well, in my opinion, versus Liberty. They have plenty bigs. I mean, Cardoso just came back. You got Angel Reese there. I feel like it's a tough matchup for this Liberty team. So because of it, I couldn't bet the spot. I'd probably lean towards the Skee a little bit more. And the total, I think is going in the right direction. How do you feel about it, Veno?
Well, the first time around, it was 90-81, right? 171. So that would put this over. Chicago may have caught New York by surprise. This one, and you mentioned her name, and for me, it's a little bit of wait and see here. Chicago and Cardoso did come back and play her very first game Saturday, made her WNBA debut. I really want to watch a couple of games with her in the lineup because I'm a totals guy, and Chicago was playing fairly quick pace. And then I watched Saturday against Indiana, who's, somewhat of a quick pace team, a lot of turnovers, but somewhat of a quick pace. And that game just was played in molasses. And I just wonder now with Chicago having a different structured lineup with her in the middle. I mean, the interior is sealed with Cardoso in there. I wonder if Chicago doesn't turn into a more methodical team now, feeding the ball to her down low. She basically looks unstoppable down there. I mean, it was only her first game the other day, but she looks like she's going to be pretty good and pretty helpful to this lineup. So I don't know if Chicago is going to change philosophies. I tried to go and find some kind of proof in the form of articles, maybe coach quotes, player quotes to back up my opinion. I couldn't find them. So I have to wait and see here. The total, obviously, the money all flying toward the over, which kind of flies in the face of what I'm thinking. So I'm going to lay off there. And like you said, the Liberty hasn't been the most trustworthy team. They have these bursts where they look like, they could compete in the finals, especially offensively. And then they have these games where you wonder if they even care to show up. So Commissioner's Cup obviously should be a show up game for everybody. But I'm interested to see how Chicago plays, because that 71-70 game caught me the other day against Indiana. I thought it was going to be an over, and the pace was not what it had been for Chicago and not what I expected it to be.
What you're saying makes sense to me. I think they could probably slow it down a little bit, but I don't know. Something about this game makes me feel a little bit nervous to play. I guess I'll just be leaning. I can't stand up straight for this game. But this next game, I like quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie. Mercury and Storm opened up -7 for the Storm. Looking at 7.5 total. Hasn't moved too much. Raised the point to 166.5. Phoenix continues without Griner. Rebecca Allen also out, and Seattle healthy. I don't see anybody on that injury report. This game is going to be what? I think 5th game in 8 nights for this Mercury team. They have been playing a lot of basketball. Meanwhile, Storm, I think they're coming off 3 days rest here. So maybe a little bit of a tired team versus a well-rested team. A Storm team who has been playing really good basketball lately, especially on the offensive end. They've eclipsed 100 the past couple games, or 2 out of their last 3 games. And I said, this is a team that is, very good on paper. They have some new pieces. It's going to take a little bit of time for them to, start trending in the direction they're supposed to go. But I think we've seen them, start getting there now. So looking at all those things, and then also just knowing this is a really important game for one player, maybe 2 players, maybe a player on the other side too. I think it's the biggest game for Skylar Diggins-Smith. For people who are new to the WNBA, you guys are not going to know this, but Skylar Diggins-Smith played for the Mercury for a few years. She didn't play last season because she was out for maternity leave. But the year before, I'll start there. There was moments, it was friction throughout the entire season, but there were moments where I remember seeing Taurasi and Diggins-Smith on the sideline during the game in a heated argument. Like, they do not like each other. And not only was it that, it was just they were treating her very unfairly. I'll say that, to say the least. You had that season, it was just some kind of beef. I'll remember it in a second, but that season, I remember Skylar Diggins-Smith was an all-star, and it was either Taurasi didn't make the all-star or she got hurt or something like that. And the then coach of the Mercury said in an interview, like, yeah, it won't really be an all-star game unless Diana Taurasi is in it. And Skylar Diggins-Smith is on the team. She's on the Mercury and made the all-star team. That's pretty disrespectful. Skylar Diggins-Smith, I remember, was retweeting with clown emojis and stuff like that. Then you look at the following year, beef continues. Like, she was out for personal reasons for a little bit. I remember I have a quote here. She said, first of all, they asked the new coach after they fired that old coach about Skylar. She said, Skylar's on maternity leave right now. And as we do with players on maternity leave, we give them their space. Skylar, she has something to say about it. She says, it was all good when I was leaving for personal time. But when I'm leaving because I'm having complications and scared of risking my child while leading the league in minutes, pregnant, they're screaming traitor. And, she's taking offense to that. So I know this is a big game for her. One more thing I had here as far as quotes go. She said that, a fan on Twitter was saying how they pointed out how the Mercury didn't wish Skylar Diggins Smith a happy birthday. And she said, they're not going to acknowledge me this year. And it's okay, guys. We're not affiliated unless it's checks per management. I can't even use the practice facility or any resources. So, all of that to say, Mercury did Skylar Diggins Smith extremely dirty. And I know she's had this game circled on her calendar. I know she's going to come ready to play, especially being, 3 days of rest. So, I like a few things in this game, I like Skylar Diggins Smith over 15 and a half points. She's cleared that the last 3 games. And like I said, this is the game. She could have 25. Like I would not be surprised. She got 30. She's gonna be coming with it tonight. And I like the Storm minus 7.5 points. They've been playing good. They've been winning by this margin. I want to say their last 3 games. Um, they're just clicking right now, and they're going versus a tired Phoenix team. Then I like Seattle team total over because I don't think they're letting off the gas. And Phoenix defense has been second worst so far this year. So triple up for me in this game. How do you feel about it, Vino?
I'm going to open up all my apps right now, Skee, because I just did this video for Wagertalk. And I am on the same exact wavelength. I'll pile on and I'll add some stuff to what you're saying. But in the video, the best bet was Seattle minus the points. I think Seattle's a green light team in any situation right now. They're playing really well. And I've even more than that, like the Seattle team total over. I saw 86.5. And what they've done to teams in this defensive category, which Phoenix is the second worst defensive rated team in the league. So recently, Seattle's played Washington. They're 10th. They've played Indiana. They're 12th. And they scored 103 and 101 against those teams. So teams in this category, they can score on. And Skylar Diggins Smith has some troops for this game because they're Jewel Lloyd's playing well. NECA's playing well. They have, just because I keep track of this every day, they have increased their pace now that they're more cohesive. And Phoenix is the second fastest tempo team in the league, but they're not that far ahead of Seattle, who's fourth. And I mean, numerically, they're not that far ahead. Seattle's almost as fast as they are, and it's gotten progressively better as they've gotten used to one another. So I think the better talent is on the Seattle side. I don't think they're scared off of pace whatsoever, which led me to Seattle team total, because when you're going to play fast against a lousy defense, and Phoenix has shown the ability to give it up. Since they started 3-1, the Mercury have lost 4 of their last 5. And granted, they had a tough road stretch. Give them that. But 3 of those losses
had to travel their last 5 games, or this is their 5th straight travel game right now.
Yeah, they got that home game against LA, right? And beat them. Yeah. Stuck a home game in the middle. But that's the LA Sparks. 3 of the losses are by 15 plus to Dallas, Connecticut, Minnesota. Seattle's in that category of good team. Seattle, like you mentioned, long rest. They're 5-1 straight up the last 6, and 4 of those wins have come by 9 or better, only laying 7.5 here. So many things add up here, Skee. I could go on and on a little bit here as far as where some good matchups are. Mercury's the worst field goal percentage shooting team in the league. They're kind of reliant on threes. If they don't make them, they're not scoring, but they do score 80 points per game, so they have a tendency to make them. For me, for all the reasons we've mentioned here, and I didn't even know the full Skylar Diggins backstory, to me, it was a Seattle spot all the way. To me, even more than that, it's a Seattle team total spot over. And I think when you put those two together, you almost have to play over as far as the game is concerned. If Seattle's going to find their way to 90 plus, you're probably going to get more than 166.5, and I think they are. So I like it a bunch of ways, but that was my favorite game of the day.
Yeah, we're absolutely on the same wavelength here. We lined it up perfectly, and somebody said, and I wish I had the comment there. They said both of us standing up straight today. There it is. Oh, no, it wasn't Jeff, but somebody said we're both standing up straight today.
On that game.
There it is. There it is. Prolific.
Straight up.
Good stuff. I think we did a really good job breaking it down. So that's it for today's slate. We'll move it on over to best bets. And I'll pass it on over to you, Rob. I'll remind everybody that, we both do really good work at wagertalk.com. Both links, So the links to both of our pages are in the description to this video. So you guys can just go over there and click it and check out our work over there. But I know you've been hot. Let the people know maybe how you've been doing. And if I missed anything else that you would like to promote and a best bet for the show.
A couple of quick things, Skee. Since April the 1st, NBA's been so kind to me. I've been #1 profit leader at Wagertalk now for 2 full months. So NBA, of course, revving up again on Thursday. So go by and check out the NBA plays for sure. And for those who are interested in selection packages, Wagertalk's running a nice month of June special to keep it cheap for everybody. So if you are interested, go over there. Like Skee says, visit the links in the description. You'll get all the details on Wagertalk's June special for each handicapper. Best bets. I mean, I'll choose one of the 3 in the Seattle game. And I think just because I used it on the Wagertalk video, I'll say it again. I think Seattle -7.5 is a good play. Solid play here. They've shown the ability to win by margin. Phoenix has shown the ability to lose by margin. And again, Seattle's not going to be scared off by tempo. And, when a tempo team gets pushed back against by another running team and they can't play any defense, it's usually a good spot. So I think Seattle in front of the home crowd. I'll say one last thing here, Skee. The next 2 games that are going to be played by the Storm are pretty important games. They're going to go on the road after this to Las Vegas and I think Minnesota. 2 really good spots, 2 tough games. So not only is it meaningful because of Commissioner's Cup tonight, but it's probably meaningful to the Storm to get this win. It's a winnable game in front of your home crowd. You're going away to play a couple of tough ones. Get this one. I like Seattle -7.5 best bet.
Good stuff there from Rob Veno, and I definitely agree with that best bet. For mine, you guys should know if you were listening. It's very rare that I have a player prop, but especially I don't really do player props in WNBA. But today, I think it's worthy of a best bet. Skylar Diggins-Smith, over 15.5 points is what I bet. I saw somebody mention 16.5 in the chat. I still would take it. I know she landed on 16 one of those games, but the other 2, she's cleared that number. She's just scoring really well right now. And this is the game, like I said, she has circled because of how dirty Phoenix has did her the past couple of years. So Skylar Diggins-Smith up and over 15.5 or 16.5 points tonight. Veno, appreciate you taking the time to come on the show with me. I enjoy talking these games out with you, and I feel like we do a good job together. I feel like we help each other out. I feel like we help the chat out. So appreciate you and good stuff. Chat, we appreciate you guys as well. A lot of great sharp cappers over there, and it doesn't go unnoticed. All of us putting in this work is how we continue to beat the books. So until next time, best of luck if you tell. Good luck, everybody, on all your action. We'll catch you guys later.